Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling completely drained? Not just physically tired, but like something inside you was taken away. Your peace, your confidence, your sense of direction. Maybe you smiled, nodded, and played along, but inside you knew something was off. And the worst part, you may not even notice it happening until it is too late. It is not your imagination. Some people take more than they give. They steal your energy, cloud your mind, and leave you questioning yourself. And the worst part, you may not even notice it happening until it is too late. Life is too short to tolerate the wrong people. The Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus taught that protecting our time, energy, and peace is not selfish, it is essential. The people we surround ourselves with either lift us up or weigh us down. But most of us struggle with this idea. We feel guilty for walking away from toxic relationships. We hold on to connections out of obligation or fear of being alone. But what if I told you that the quality of your life depends on what you allow and who you keep close? In this video, we will break down 6 things you should never tolerate, the types of people who slowly drain your happiness and hold you back from becoming who you are meant to be, and most importantly, how to take back control and protect your inner peace. Before we dive in, take a second to subscribe to the channel. If you find value in this video, hit the like button, and if any of these lessons resonate with you, share your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear your experiences. Now let us start with the first and most important lesson: why your energy is sacred. 1. People who drain your energy without giving back. Imagine this. You finally find time to catch up with a friend. You sit down, grab a coffee, and expect a real conversation. But within minutes, you realize you are just a sounding board for their problems. They talk, you listen, you offer advice. And when you finally speak, they barely acknowledge it. Their struggles, their frustrations, their endless list of complaints, you listen, you sympathize, you offer advice. But when you finally speak about your own challenges, they barely acknowledge it. You leave the conversation feeling exhausted, like you have just carried the weight of someone else's problems on your shoulders. The worst part: this is not the first time, and deep down you know it will not be the last. The Stoics understood the importance of guarding our mental and emotional resources. Seneca warned us we suffer more in imagination than in reality. When you constantly allow energy-draining people into your life, you are living under the weight of their burdens rather than focusing on your own growth. Think of your energy like a sacred fire. Some people add wood, helping you burn brighter. Others throw wet blankets over it, smothering your motivation and clarity. Ask yourself this: does this relationship give me as much as I give to it? Do I leave conversations feeling lighter or heavier? Your time and energy are precious. You have a limited amount to give each day. If someone consistently takes without giving back, it is time to step away, not because you are selfish, but because you deserve relationships that nourish you instead of depleting you. 2. Those who pressure you to compromise your values. Have you ever been in a situation where someone pushed you to do something that did not feel right? Maybe a friend encouraged you to lie for them, a colleague suggested cutting corners to make things easier, or someone in your life pressured you to stay silent when you knew you should speak up. At first it seems small, a minor compromise, a harmless decision, but over time these small concessions add up. You start bending your principles little by little, until one day you hardly recognize the person you have become. Marcus Aurelius gave us a simple rule to live by: if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. When you compromise your values for the sake of convenience or approval, you are not just betraying what you believe, you are betraying yourself. People who truly respect you will never ask you to abandon your integrity. They will not pressure you to go against what you know is right. And if they do, then you have to ask yourself, is this someone I want in my life? Your principles define you. They shape the way you move through the world. When you protect them, you build a foundation of self-respect and inner strength. But the moment you start bending for others, that foundation begins to crack. Stand firm in what you believe, even if it makes others uncomfortable, even if it means walking away from relationships that no longer align with your values. The cost of betraying yourself is always higher than the cost of disappointing someone else. 3. Manipulators who use guilt and control. Have you ever done something for someone out of kindness only to realize later that they expected it, not appreciated it, but expected it? And when you hesitated, the guilt trip started. If you really cared, you would help me, or I guess I just cannot count on you. At first, you convince yourself they need you. Maybe they are struggling, maybe you are being too harsh. But then it happens again and again. Every favor turns into an expectation. Every no turns into a guilt trip. And suddenly you are stuck, trapped in a cycle where giving is not kindness anymore. It is an obligation. They do not ask for favors, they demand them, and when you try to set a boundary, they make you feel guilty for it. Epictetus reminds us it is not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. Manipulators twist your kindness into obligation. They make their problems your responsibility while avoiding accountability for their own actions. But here is the truth: you are not responsible for carrying burdens that others refuse to lift themselves. Helping is a choice, not an obligation. The moment someone starts using guilt to control you is the moment you must take a step back. Ask yourself, is this person genuinely in need, or are they using me as a tool to make their life easier? True relationships are built on mutual care, not manipulation. If someone respects you, they will respect your limits. If they do not, it is time to walk away without guilt. 4. People who belittle your dreams and aspirations. Have you ever shared an exciting goal with someone only to be met with doubt or even laughter? Maybe you told a friend about starting a business, writing a book, or making a major life change, and instead of encouragement they said that is unrealistic, or do not get your hopes up. At first you brush it off, but their words stick with you. Suddenly you start second-guessing yourself. Maybe they are right. Maybe I am not good enough. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you surround yourself with people who belittle your dreams, their negativity starts shaping your mindset, and before you know it, the things you once believed were possible now feel out of reach. But here is the truth: people who discourage your dreams are not giving you wisdom. They are giving you their own fears wrapped up as advice. They do not believe in themselves, so they try to make sure you do not believe in yourself either. But here is the truth: their limits are not yours. Their fear does not have to become your reality. But their limitations are not yours. Ask yourself this: when you leave a conversation with this person, do you feel inspired, or do you feel smaller? Your dreams deserve protection. The right people will challenge you, but they will never make you feel like you are not capable of achieving what you want. Do not let small-minded people convince you to live a small life. Keep your vision clear and surround yourself with those who lift you up, not those who hold you back. 5. Relationships that force you to be someone you are not. Have you ever felt like you had to change who you are just to fit in? Maybe you acted quieter to avoid judgment or held back your opinions because you knew they would not be accepted. Maybe you smiled when you wanted to speak up or laughed at things that did not feel right. At first it seems harmless, but over time these small adjustments add up, and one day you realize you have lost a part of yourself. You are not living as you are living as the version of yourself that others find acceptable. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." When you change yourself for the approval of others, you are handing them control over your identity. You are sacrificing your freedom in exchange for acceptance. But here is what you need to remember: the right people will never require you to shrink yourself to fit into their world. They will not make you feel like you are too much or not enough. They will accept you as you are. Ask yourself this: if I have to change who I am to keep this relationship, is it really worth keeping? True confidence comes from knowing that the people who truly value you will never ask you to be anything but yourself. Stop trying to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. The more you embrace who you truly are, the more you attract the people who are meant to be in your life. 6. Superficial connections that lack depth and reciprocity. Have you ever been in a room full of people yet felt completely alone? You laugh, you nod, you engage in small talk, but deep down you know that if you were struggling, none of these people would be there for you. At some point, we all realize that not every connection is meaningful. Some people keep things surface level. They enjoy your company when it is convenient, but they do not truly see you. They do not ask about your struggles, your dreams, or what really matters to you. Marcus Aurelius advised, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. In other words, instead of chasing shallow connections, focus on building relationships that truly add value to your life. Ask yourself this: do these people bring me joy? Do they challenge me to grow? Do they care about me beyond the surface? If the answer is no, then why invest your time and energy in relationships that do not nourish you? Life is too short to waste on connections that drain you or leave you feeling unseen. True friendships are built on trust, depth, and mutual care. If a relationship feels one-sided or shallow, do not be afraid to step away and make room for something more meaningful. Resolution: take control and protect your peace. Now that we have uncovered the 6 things you should never tolerate, the real question is, what will you do with this knowledge? The Stoics teach us that while we cannot control other people, we can control what we allow into our lives. Your time, your energy, and your peace are limited resources. If you keep spending them on the wrong people, you will have nothing left for the things that truly matter. Think about the people in your life. Are there relationships that leave you drained instead of fulfilled? Are you holding on to connections out of habit, guilt, or fear of change? If so, it is time to make a choice. Walking away does not mean you are cruel. It means you are choosing yourself. And that is not selfish. That is survival. Every time you say no to what drains you, you say yes to what lifts you. Every time you walk away from what no longer serves you, you step closer to the life you deserve. Remember this, not everyone deserves access to you. Some people will not like your boundaries, and that is okay. The right people will respect them, and those are the ones worth keeping. If this video resonated with you, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button if you found this message valuable, and share your thoughts in the comments. What is one thing you have stopped tolerating in your life? I would love to hear your experience. Stay strong, stay wise, stay true to yourself.